The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 9:06 a.m. Tuesday morning. We got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading. Quite the day we had yesterday. I got up here. Let's put it on a 30-minute, going 10 days. Back to a price level of 45 in the S&P, actually dipped below 4,300 yesterday in the futures. Remarkable action from where we were on Friday at about 44.60 to start the trading. Trade down to 42.93 yesterday. We got a little bit of a pop coming into the close there, and man, you look at where we really went. You're talking about 42.93. We make a high overnight, folks, of 43.95. That is 102 S&P points from low to high last night. Is it a dead cat bounce? We're going to find out in about 23 minutes as we wait for the market open. Already, since about 4:30 a.m. this morning, we've given up 25 S&P points to the downside right now. Volatility in both directions. We're going to jump over to the VIX right now. 23.84 after hitting 28.79 just yesterday. Taking a look at the VIX. It had been a series of lower highs and lower lows. Not quite the case yesterday as that jumps out at you, almost hitting 30 in the VIX right now. We're back to 23.85 right now. NASDAQ 100. Let's put it back on that 30-minute chart to see the full complex of where we went. You're trading up 64 points right now, back above 15,000. You traded down about 700 points from Friday's action to Monday's action, and just like that, though, man, you go from 14,807. We make a high at about 4:30 a.m. 15,163. You're talking about 350 points in the NASDAQ 100 that we trade from the lows. The Dow is up 206 points from the lows yesterday at about 3 p.m. Eastern time, 33,478. You make a high, again, 4:30 a.m. this morning, highs across the board, 34,236. You're talking about almost 800 points, folks. Crazy action. You actually got above the intraday highs in the Dow yesterday. Overnight, we make it up to 34,200, and you got the Russell right now up 13 points, trading at 2190. You make it as high as 2208. We've given up about 18 points in the Russell. Crude back above $70. I guess we continue to slide here. There's your 30-minute. Yeah, we were below 70 briefly yesterday as we accelerated at 2 o'clock to 69.75. We make it up to 71.50 just in the last four and a half hours. Crude's given up $1 to the downside. We're looking at 30-minute bars right now on the light sweet crude futures contract. You have gold catching a little bit of a bid. Gold up $8. Gold was higher yesterday. One of the few things in the green as the market traded to lower prices. Silver right now up 29 cents at $22.50. And notes and bonds pretty much flat. I say flat, but man, we had some volatility overnight. You traded down to a price point of 132.31 about. What's the technical low? Yeah, 132.31 we'll call it. 132.3005 is the exact low, but just like that, we're coming right up to those price levels in terms of the highs that we had yesterday. That's correlating to a yield right now as I pull it up. You're talking about a yield in the 10-year of 1.31%. Right back up to those levels that we had about 1 o'clock yesterday. You got the 30-year right now, -3 ticks. You see the volatility there climbing towards the highs we had on the trading day Monday as well. All right, let's jump around to some of the headlines, kick things off. Market looking a little bit shaky, to put it lightly, yesterday across the board. We'll see if these gains hold. I mean, dicey action when you look in terms of where we are, where we're going to go in terms of the bears out there. The bears probably loving that you get a 100-point bounce in the S&Ps right now. Man, we had some big-time sell-offs. Check out that volume, though, we got in the final half hour of the day as the markets roared higher, clawing back a lot of those losses. I mean, nothing to shake your head at, folks. We're talking about, like I just said, 100-plus points from where we were last night at 3 o'clock to where we were at about 4:30 Eastern time in the morning. All right, jumping over to some of the Evergrande headlines. Overnight, the S&P saying that they are likely to fault without China intervening. Not sure if that's going to be the case as well. China Evergrande Group slid deeper in equity and credit markets Tuesday, fueling concerns about broader contagion after S&P Global Ratings said the developers on the brink of default. Shares of Hong Kong dropped as much as 7% before finishing down just 0.4%. There's a little bit of recoil, still settling near a 10-year closing low. Its 8.25% dollar bond due 2022 fell 0.3 cents to 24.9, leaving it down some 75%. I mean, you see the sell-off on the share price, folks. That is a race to zero. We believe Beijing would only be compelled to step in if there is a far-reaching contagion causing multiple major developers to fail and posing systematic risk to the economy. That is the report from S&P out there. Evergrande failing alone would unlikely result in such a scenario. So it seems like they'd be willing to let it fail if they can be sure that it's not going to reverberate to other areas of the real estate economy out there. As Bloomberg puts it, still, troubles could further hit investor confidence in China's property sector and junk-rated credit markets more broadly. That's the S&P talking out there again. In Asia Tuesday, even high-grade dollar bonds slumped, leaving spreads set for the worst two-day expansion since April. Pretty remarkable as these headlines continue to roll out on almost a daily basis on Evergrande. And as we've seen, folks, I mean, it takes time, even in my young history of the markets, right? You don't have to go back that far to see how long it takes sometimes for the real pain to be revealed in some of these trades. You go back to Bill Huang, right? The complete demise there. I mean, it took a week or two just for some of these big banks to acknowledge some of the losses they had and still be selling, let alone that was a much easier scenario where you had banks where they just had that risk on their own balance sheet, and it took a while just for them to come out and reveal the risks that they had. We'll see how that shakes out, but nonetheless, lower markets yesterday, catching a bid today. We'll see where we go from there. Over in Europe right now, you have positive markets. You get the DAX up 1.5%, FTSE up 1.1%, CAC roll up 1.4%. And then over in the Hang Seng, you're up about 0.5% right now over in Hong Kong. All right, let's jump around some of the other headlines. We're going to start it off. One of my favorite stocks out there. We got it in the newsletter. It's been in a max pain situation, but this is what you'd want to see if you are in Uber. And again, we have this in my newsletter, folks. Originally, you know, Uber was on a great path to profitability before reality set in of the pandemic that really changed things. But look at the action we're getting overnight. Right now, you're up $2.50. This is going to be a big pop, and it has to do with potentially being profitable come the third quarter for Uber. One of the greatest accelerations a company can have, in my opinion, is when you go from a company that is losing money to making money. It sounds very simple, folks, but many times, I mean, I learned it when watching my dad talking about some of the gold companies, right? You get these exploratory companies, and right as they ramp up from the exploratory stage to the production stage, you really get this transition of valuation where the market starts to realize that no longer are they just going to be coming to the market for money. They're actually going to start producing and earning actual income. That's going to be a big transition when a company like Uber goes from losing money to making money. It was supposed to happen last year. Things obviously got pushed back, but just recently they had said that they might not be profitable until a little bit in the future. But now they come out in SEC filing and said it expects between 22.8 and 23.2 billion in gross bookings for the current quarter. But the biggest thing there is that they're looking for potentially being profitable. They're going to be skirting with that profitability between a $25 million loss and a $25 million profit. We'll talk a little bit more about that. We'll take a look at Uber. We'll talk to Kevin Hinks when we get back as well. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
Golden ratios give shape to everything in our world, represented in the Fibonacci sequence. These special numbers define the patterns that make up our universe. Not even markets can escape the omnipotence of these ratios. Larry Pesavento is a 45-year market veteran who has published nearly a dozen books on the powerful patterns we find in nature and their relationships with the ever-elusive markets. Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, will teach you to harness the power of these natural golden ratios in order to create successful trades. Fibonacci 24/7 is designed to teach the tools you need to identify and act on these undeniable and reoccurring patterns. Sign up for Larry's newsletter, Fibonacci 24/7, and you will also receive free access to his trading webinar, Trading Strong Trending Markets. Try out Larry's newsletter risk-free. All of TFNN's newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps positive by 20 points, NASDAQ 100 positive by 58, Dow positive by 175. All the markets dramatically in the green right now, but giving up some of those gains over the last 4 to 5 hours, making highs at about 4:30 a.m. pre-market. We had some fireworks yesterday, folks. I imagine we may get some fireworks today as well. We get the VIX right now trading at 2389. Let's jump over to our man Kevin Hinks. Every trading day, folks. Fast market on the TD Ameritrade Network at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Kevin Hinks, Alex Coffey and the team breaking down the day's market action, walking you through hypothetical trade setups, talking about defined risk in that options market. Kevin Hinks, what a day we had yesterday, man. Good morning.
Good morning, Tommy O'Brien. Yes, little recovery. Really, that started, if you think about it, about 2:20, 2:30 Chicago time, probably 3:30 Eastern time, and kept up into the overnight session. So I would expect that to be met with a little selling as the market opens here, but solid gains to start the day, and we'll see how it plays out from there. But, yeah, pretty solid recovery there the last, 34 minutes of the trading day, Tommy.
It is remarkable, Kevin, sometimes when you have such large moves in either direction that the bounces don't look as large as they may be when we have a 102-point S&P bounce, Kevin, from the lows of about 3:15 p.m. Eastern time, as you talk about, to the highs at 4:30. And if you're talking about a 102-point bounce in the S&P, man, watch out. But I said to start off my program, Kevin, for those bears, boy, they got to love a 102-point S&P bounce. If you're a bear out there, getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see where we go from there. There's a lot of variables in this market, Kevin. Of course, the hot topic of a discussion lately is Evergrande over there, and if that's going to kind of, push a little contagion through these markets. But we also got, of course, everything else going on with the markets in terms of earnings, in terms of the pandemic still existing, and of course, we got a Fed meeting starting today, and we got Chairman Powell. I imagine he's going to have a little bit more to talk about tomorrow, Kevin, in his press conference than he might have imagined last week before we got kind of the hysteria yesterday with the VIX almost hitting 30.
Yeah, he's going to get questions on China. He's going to get questions on his own personal finances and those of the members of the Fed, which I think is absurd. If, it's showing that these members of the Fed, some of them had tax-free municipal bonds. Well, what can they buy? What is safe for them to buy if not tax-free munis? So I think that's a little overblown. But is this China thing? And in full disclosure, you had some of the Evergrande leadership come out and make some positive statements. So that's probably easing some fears. But all things being good, you got pretty good economic data this morning. Housing starts and permits were good. So, the question is, at tomorrow's press conference, what are we going to see in terms of, I'm not a big fan of the dot plot, but I want to hear Jerome Powell's comments on tapering and if the happenings in China and last month's miss delays tapering. And so that's what I'm looking for. Let's face it, Tommy, there's still 10.9 million jobs meeting up with 7.5 million people, and that hasn't come to a conclusion yet. So I think until Jerome Powell sees that work its way out, come to some resolution, I think he's on pause still, Tommy.
It is pretty just crazy how many variables are in the market. Like you put it, man, I mean, the whole talk lately has been Evergrande, right? Meanwhile, like you say, we got 8, 9, 10 million jobs that we're supposed to make up to get to pre-pandemic levels. We've seen a stall in that at least in the summer months, and we just kind of ended those benefits that a lot of people have argued have weighed on the resurgence in that employment market. Point is, there's a lot going on, man, just beyond Evergrande here as we get a Fed meeting coming up today. I wanted to talk a little bit about the VIX, Kevin, on a day where we got a spike, pretty fantastic spike, 28.79. I got on the Thinkorswim platform up here, the highs yesterday before it sold off a little bit on the rally. When you get a VIX that high, Kevin, now we know that gets priced into, options in terms of premium, in terms of the moves that they're looking for. How does it become untradeable? Because, of course, you can trade both sides of it. But when you get a VIX at 29, Kevin, and you got the markets down 2 to 3% intraday, how do you look at that as a trader? Because, in my opinion, if you want to be either, long volatility, how do you get long volatility at a price of 28 in the VIX, right? Where even if you get some kind of crazy move, you're probably not going to get the move that you need to make up for the volatility you're paying. Or how do you sell volatility when the market's down 100 plus points in the S&P? How do you look at that on a day that you get that kind of action yesterday?
Well, the question where you get to, almost a 28, almost a 29 VIX, the question you have to have an answer in your own mind is, do I see continuation? Is the market going to continue to go down? Or is this a time where we can start taking the other side of these trades and selling volatility and, taking short volatility positions? And it's all about the strategy. You can still do risk-defined strategies that make you net short Vega, which if you're net short Vega, you make money when the implied volatility goes down. Your spread, whatever you have on, will become more profitable. So there's a way to play implied volatility from the long side, and there's a way to play it from the short side, and it's using the Greek Vega to do that. So, yeah, it's when a lot of guys check their Vega. Are you long or short Vega? And that is a big question among option traders. And so, short Vega loses money when implied volatility goes up. It makes money when implied volatility goes down. So you can buy and sell stocks high and low. You can buy and sell options high and low. You can buy and sell implied volatility high and low.
And the best part, like you say, man, in a market that we got like we got right now is defined risk, folks, because watch out. I mean, sometimes the moves, they don't even seem possible, Kevin, until you're kind of in the midst of it on that day where the sell-off's occurring, right? I mean, we had the Qs yesterday. I was talking to my dad, just mind-blowing. And we all know how it goes, though, folks. If you've been in it long enough, Qs were down $12 one point yesterday, I think, near the lows. If you back it up to Friday, you were down 18 points in the Qs, folks, from about 378 to 360. Not many people would have thought that the Qs had 360 potentially by Monday when we kicked off Friday trading, but it just shows you, man, you got to prepare for everything, and that's why I love defined risk. With everything going on in the market, Kevin, we got some equities that are moving today. We got a lot of action. What are you guys going to be talking about on Fast Market coming up today at 11?
It's thin on earnings, but we've got a couple good ones today. We'll look at FedEx. We'll look at Adobe today. Two really good names. Even though it's late in earnings season, we don't have a lot of names. Those are two good ones, Tommy.
Those are two good ones, man. FedEx, that's just an interesting one in my own head in terms of the fundamental nature of that business. Amazing how these companies have accelerated, but man, we got a pullback from 320 almost to 250 in FedEx right now. FedEx looks to be about $2 higher on the open to 252. And final, that VIX, Kevin, how about it? So 29, you always taught us about the rule of 16. So when you're hitting 29 yesterday, let's just round it to 32 for simple math. That's talking about a 2% move priced into the market every 1 out of 3 days. Would that be correct?
Exactly.
Man, that's it.
A 28 or a 24 VIX is 1.5%. A 16 VIX is 1%, and a 32 VIX is 2% move a third of the days, Tommy.
And you see it, folks, just like that. The market's saying we might not get that. We're back to 23.89. If you're not familiar with Vega, folks, you're not familiar with it, check out the program today, Fast Market at 11 o'clock. Kevin, thanks so much, man. We'll be listening at 11. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Have a great day, Tommy.
You too, Kevin. Thanks so much. We'll be right back for the open, folks.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other Tigers and Tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We got markets open, and we get the S&Ps up 22 points to kick things off. We're currently 77 points off of the lows we had yesterday, but we're only 30 seconds into the trading day, folks. We'll see where we go from here. Interesting that you get such a bounce off the lows of yesterday, but you put things in comparison, right? We're going to take a look at the NQs real quick, all right? I'm going to put a Fibonacci retracement over here just to see the levels of the bounce we got, okay? Come on, cooperate. There we go. Going from basically Friday morning to the lows, an exact 50% there, folks. 15,164 in the NASDAQ. You take a look at the S&P, as these markets, they're giving it up just like that. I better go quick because we might be in the red by the time I get this filled out. You go from Friday's action in the S&P of about 44.60. You see the move we have there. Again, almost at the no, that's a 618 in the S&P actually. 43.98. We get within a hair of that. And yeah, all these markets are giving it up just like that. Let's put it on a 5-minute chart. We get the S&P is just positive by 14 points now. They're all giving it up. Look at that bar. We just gave up 10, 12 points in the S&P. It's going to be a fast market in both directions, folks. No pun intended. Make sure you check out Fast Market at 11 o'clock with our man Kevin Hinks and Alex Coffey. Outstanding program, and they're going to have plenty to talk about today. VIX back above 24. We'll jump over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin down $900 below 43,000. 42,870. Bitcoin actually made it to 40,000 last night. Look at that action. 40,085 to be exact. We got crude right now in the open up 53 cents. The market's a little bit delayed here as the market's trying to keep up with all the action going on. And we jump to gold up $10 at 1774. Let's finish up the wrap up with the 10-year up 2 ticks right now, trading at 133.11. All right, let's jump around to some of the other stories we have going on. So I talked about Uber, and this was the one that I want to focus on. Again, they are in my newsletter, but I talk about them a lot. It's had some severe volatility to the downside, but some of these stocks, folks, if you're in them, they are trading much more volatile than the regular market. The big key here, okay, now Uber talked about gross bookings, okay? They talked about a lot in terms of an SEC filing, but what the market really woke up to is it said it now expects adjusted EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization to come in between a loss of $25 million to a profit of $25 million. Uber previously said it expected its adjusted EBITDA for the third quarter to be better than a loss of $100 million. So the market really liking that, guess what? Even in the face of all the slowdowns we have, even in the face of the virus persisting, okay, that Uber might be profitable sooner than they thought. Looking ahead, Uber reiterated that on an adjusted EBITDA basis, it should see a profit in the fourth quarter. However, it noted that some significant forecasting uncertainty remains a factor. In the second quarter, Uber reported 1.51 billion trips on the platform, up 4% from a prior quarter, 105% from a year ago. Disregard that because yearly comparisons don't mean much right now when you're comparing it to a year ago where the world was a much different place. Excuse me. Uber and other competitors, as they say, struggled with supply and demand imbalances. The one thing that has really accelerated for Uber over the last year and a half has been the Uber Eats delivery. And look at that, 7.1%. Anytime you're dealing with some of these volatile stocks, folks, we hit a high. Let's go on. Let's put it 15 $40 and something I saw there. We're up about 7.2% right now in Uber as the platform a little struggling to keep up with all the action going on right now. And I imagine we get the markets moving pretty fast right now in a big way. And there's your open to 43.04, higher prices as Uber looks to be profitable ahead of their plans over there for Uber. Now, jumping around to some of the other high flyers, I'm going to talk about, where are we? Revolut. So this is an interesting one that's going to play in. I've been talking about Robinhood. All right, let's talk about Robinhood first. There's your chart of Robinhood as it pulls up. Robinhood today up 1.2% with the market. We'll put it on a daily to see the full context of where we've been. And Robinhood will be around, folks. It's not going to go bankrupt, right? It's not going to go to the wayside. They've implemented themselves in the retail trader sector in a big way that's not going away. But, man, they are going to have a lot of competition coming for their business, folks, in a big way. Not to mention the likes of the big brokerages like Thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade, Charles Schwab, the rest. They are sponsors for full disclosure, okay? They're going to be coming for Robinhood, okay? There's no reason why some of those companies can't start allowing traders to trade, whether it's crypto, okay? Not sure they're going to allow traders to trade Dogecoin. And that might just be doing their customers a service because of the volatility and the fact that Doge is probably going to zero eventually. Not a matter of if, but when, in my opinion, that it arrives there. But the point being is that they do not have a monopoly on this retail sector of trading. You're going to see some competition coming in a big way. Revolut, the $33 billion fintech player, is rolling out commission-free stock trading in the U.S. So this company was originally set up, I think it was 2015. Yes, 2015 was originally set up so that people could avoid currency conversion fees while traveling. What happens is in Europe, you deal with that a lot. You got a lot of different currencies, and a lot of Europeans are traveling with the EU passports to different countries. Now, you use the euro, but it goes beyond that. Excuse me, folks, dealing with a little bit of a cold. $33 billion company. Point being, guess what? They're coming to the U.S. They now have a brokerage license. They're going to be doing commission-free trading. They're a $33 billion company. They got backing from SoftBank and Tiger Global. I mean, that's right in Robinhood's wheelhouse. You're not telling me that they're not going to be able to go into that same customer base? They have 16 million customers already. That is coming, folks. And where Robinhood made so much of their money in crypto, in Dogecoin, it's a very volatile space to bank the total existence of your business on Dogecoin trading. That one, I mean, it's just keep your spikes up if you're in Robinhood, folks. I mean, this thing is showing no strength whatsoever. You're up 1.2% today with the market. But the more headlines I read, the more I read about this company. Yes, it will be around, but will it be around in the form of a company that's valued at $35 billion? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And the market's not sure yet either with this type of action in terms of where we are right now at $41 for Robinhood. Okay, what else we got going on? Let's jump over to this one. McDonald's going to offer more sustainable Happy Meal toys worldwide by the end of 2025. I'll just sound off on my little bit of a gripe here. Happy Meal toys. I love Happy Meal toys. I got 2 kids in the house. One of them's old enough for Happy Meals. He loves his Happy Meal toys. Can't go wrong there. Excuse me. One thing, though, folks, is incentivizing toys to be associated with something like McDonald's hamburger is not conducive to healthy eating. And in a time when I think we can all agree that Americans are not very healthy, to put it just very generally, could go a lot more in depth in that. Be aware of the food you're putting in your kids' mouths. Be aware of associating toys with food that is not healthy, like a McDonald's hamburger. Okay, hamburgers are great, folks. All right, a McDonald's hamburger is processed to the nth degree. You know, and so many areas in Europe do not allow. And I'm not sure that I'm arguing for that, all right? I'm arguing for personal responsibility of parents and make sure you're teaching the kids the right thing, because so often, you know, the toys associated with crap food, folks, we got to make some changes in terms of how we are eating and how we are proceeding to eat in terms of fried potatoes and a hamburger and, you know, McDonald's. And listen, we got McDonald's in my newsletter, folks, okay? You can be a McDonald's bull while saying, keep control of what your kids got out there and you know, make some sound parenting decisions. We'll finish up on that conversation. We'll be right back, folks.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps right now, positive 20. All the markets just kind of hanging out right where we opened. Still got the chart in terms of the Fibonacci retracements we're dealing with here. And take that off for some clarity purposes. Drill down into the open, and we're kind of sitting right where we were pre-market. The market trying to figure out which way it wants to go. We get the Dow up 208 right now, trading at 34,042. And the NASDAQ 100 up 55 points. Let's jump around to some of the FANG stocks. You got Apple with some news out there. Apple up 0.5%. I'm going to jump to some of the stocks we're looking at. So Apple, Wall Street Journal report talking about that they're working with the iPhone features to help identify depression and cognitive decline. The feature would use sensor data to help detect these health issues, citing people familiar with the matter. It's really interesting how some of these companies are turning to health. I mean, I've talked about it before. I'm an Apple fan, okay? I do have Apple, which almost everybody has some Apple. If you have any type of an index fund in any capacity, you probably have Apple in your retirement portfolio. I did get an iWatch around last Christmas, and one of the things that I've enjoyed about it the most, the reason why I bought it, was the health purposes of it. I like to go for short jogs. I do some interval training. I don't really like those super long distance runs. Not really nice on your knees out there if you're a runner. I like kind of that intermittent, accelerations, get that heart rate pumping. One of the coolest factors of it is that when you have the iWatch, you're actually able to go out without your phone. I always hated having to bring my phone if I went out, right? So now I can go out without my phone. I have my earbuds. Your watch, if I get a call, if I get a text, something like that during the day, I'm still able to stay in touch. I can do that with just my phone, just my watch, and then it's tracking your heart rate. I think it has an EKG on there. You're really going to start to see these companies because there's only so much you can do. I mean, they just came out with the iPhone 13. I saw one headline recently that they were minor improvements, but welcome. I mean, folks, this phone can do just about everything you need. There's no more gadgets that are coming just yet. They probably will. Okay, there's probably going to be more gadgets in the future. But as of right now, your phone can do basically everything that it can. The 13, what can the 13 do that the 12 can't? I mean, already the headlines are what? It's got a better camera, right? The phone on the iPhone 12 was supposedly the best camera a phone had ever seen. Now we got a better camera on the 13, right? But what they are going to do is they're going to start incorporating some of those types of deals. I don't know how that's going to play in terms of your phone, figuring out if you're depressed. I don't know if that's the case in terms of trusting your phone for that degree, but that is where a lot of those wearables are going. And my personal experience is it's pretty enjoyable out there. Just back to the McDonald's, because they're talking about in the YouTube Tigers Den over there saying too late, right? Too late for that advice. Never too late, folks. Never too late. To start to think about your health, because because Americans are in trouble when it comes to that. I don't think I'm saying anything too startling to anybody out there. And there's a great quote in terms of people underestimate what you can do they overestimate what you can do in the short term, right? As in everybody wants to do everything in one day, right? They overestimate what they want to get done in a day, but you underestimate what you can do in the long term with some consistency, right? You underestimate what you can do over the course of a month or a couple months with some consistency, folks, okay? Everybody, we live in a now environment. Everybody wants everything now, yesterday. So if you're out there, if you're battling some health, never too late. Focus one day at a time out there, folks, because it's never easy. We get temptation everywhere, especially when it comes to the food that we're dealing with. But stay on it and don't give up on your kids for sure, because, man, the amount of crap that people put in terms of sugar, processed foods, McDonald's, hand out toys. I mean, every kid, I love it myself, right? But we see where it's gotten us, and it's not gotten us to a healthy society, folks. Not in any way. And that's one of the things. Listen, I'm out here harping on vaccines every day. You hear it, all right? And it's a big deal. One of the things that people should talk about more during this pandemic is that the people hit most have been predominantly obesity. Old age is a big problem as well, but I wish they had talked about obesity more, because we've got to get it under control. And that's one of the things that people who are obese, especially younger on the scale, really face a lot of hardships for this virus. And that's a tough one in a big way. Now, jumping over to the vaccine, it's just a tragedy, folks. We are going to be the last G7 country in terms of vaccination levels. When you tie this into economic activity, you tie it into economic strength, it's embarrassing that we are the last place country, and we were ahead of the curve in the beginning. I tried to get this up there in the biggest one I could. But you now got the UK, Italy, Germany, France, Japan, and Canada all having higher vaccination levels than the United States. That is going to matter, folks, okay? At a time when, I tell you, with 2 young kids in the house, okay, and I'm living in Florida where cases are just through the roof, you could call them plateauing, you could call them, decreasing. It affects economic activity, folks, in a big way, okay? And as this, tweet puts it, the G7 country, the lowest level of vaccinations. The faster a country reaches herd immunity, the faster it's going to return to higher levels of restaurants, hotels, air traffic, service sector, economic activity, GDP, international strength when it comes to economic activity. So I encourage you, if you know people out there, okay, and unfortunately it seems like we all do, all right, encourage them to talk to their doctor, all right, to find out what's best for them. We're losing 2,000 people a day are dying right now from a pandemic that we have a virus and we have a vaccine for that virus, and the U.S. is now the last place country among the G7 with vaccination levels. That is not a success in the future, folks. That is not how future success works. It's not. And that's unfortunate how it's playing out, and it's persisting in a big way. That was a startling statistic in terms of all those other countries, because we know anti-vaccination rhetoric is persisting in those countries as well. But in the U.S., it's unfortunately now last place among G7 countries, as Japan was really late to the vaccination party, and they have now eclipsed the United States there, with the U.S. falling to 7th. All right, jumping back to some of the other stories. Google, they're getting into the New York office building sector, $2.1 billion purchase there. The company previously announced it's going to invest $250 million in New York City this year. Well, they plan to open the St. John's terminal site at 550 Washington Street by the middle of 2023. That's not bad. That's only about a year and 3/4, right? A year and a half. They buy the building for $2.1 billion. I wonder how they got in terms of what kind of a deal they got. Not a bad time probably to be buying New York office buildings at this time. They plan to open that in the middle of 2023. The site will be Google's largest office outside of California, so really setting up a space in New York there. The campus will be about 1.7 million square feet and house Google's sales and partnerships team, and Google expects the deal to close in the first quarter of next year. We'll jump over to Google shares as this market catches a little bit of a lift on the open. We got Google up 1% right now. Let's jump around to some of the other FANG stocks. Microsoft up 1% as well. We talked about Apple up 1% as well. Let's take a look at Facebook shares. Facebook right now trading up 1% as well. All the stocks hovering, excuse me, at about 1%. You get the NASDAQ 100 up 0.8%. S&P's up 0.8%. And the Dow up an even percent right now. Let's take a look at the volatility index as this market proceeds higher. We get the VIX right now trading, Look at that volatility, right? VIX trading, you know what? I'm going to put this on a 1 minute because we've had some oscillation already to start the day. VIX trading 2273 as this market pops a bit. Really remarkable that we got a VIX of 2273, even with everything going on. I mean, all things considered, yes, we're catching a little bit of a lift, okay? You put this thing on a daily in terms of the S&Ps, and yeah, we're catching a lift of 43.81, but we got a long way to go. We're still almost 200 points, about 170 points from the highs, folks, at 45.49. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back to finish up the show.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Markets can rise and fall like the tides. Subscribe to Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, and you too can ride the wave. Basil Chapman is an authority in technical analysis. His Chapman Wave trading system has been helping traders identify trends and capitalize on momentum in the markets since 1984. TFNN invites you to test Basil's proprietary Chapman Wave trading methodology with a monthly subscription to the Opening Call newsletter for only $149. Your subscription to the Opening Call comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, as well as daily market updates on key indexes, stocks, and commodities. Ride the wave! Sign up for the Opening Call risk-free today.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the S&Ps up 30 points right now. I'm going to jump to a retailer. We got Big Lots. So Big Lots getting a downgrade from Piper Sandler out there. Their symbol, big, and what they're pointing to, and the reason why I want to bring it up, they're down 2.8% with the market in positive territory today. But the big key here is you got to keep in mind that what they're talking about is the stimulus is gone, and that is going to hit this retailer in particular. And the way they put it, the end of fiscal stimulus will hurt Big Lots. It's going to be interesting to see which retailers benefited the most from that stimulus, right? You got whether it's high end versus low end. Obviously, on the low end, the stimulus is going to have more of an impact of the disposable income people have had. You take a look at the daily in terms of where Big Lots has been. This stock was down at $42 back basically the beginning of the year, made it all the way up to $73, and even at $47, they're getting downgrades here, saying the max pain may not be over. You back it up to a 3-year weekly, and that'll show you maybe a little bit why, as actually you started off 2020 at a price point of 30, down to 10, up to 73, and the market says, hold on, maybe got ahead of itself a little bit as well. Macy's, let's jump over. A little bit of a different story there. Macy's, quite the demise to $4 during max pain. Macy's looking pretty strong right now in the year of 2021. As you trade, you're up almost 100% from where we came in to start the year. And let's finish it up with the airlines. We got American Airlines right now up about 0.5%. The news yesterday, allowing international travelers. Airlines, one of the big winners yesterday, among many having losses. American up about 0.5%. Let's jump. Delta shares right now up 0.7%. United Airlines up about 0.4%. We jump to domestic airlines. Southwest up 1.2% right now. JetBlue shares up, I say up. Oh, no, down 0.8%. JetBlue giving it up. What's up with that? The only airline in the red. And let's take a look at some of the cruise ships real quick. You got Carnival up 0.33%, and we'll finish it up with Norwegian. Norwegian up 0.4%. All right, folks, it should be an interesting one in the markets. We got S&Ps in positive territory. We're getting a bounce off the lows of yesterday. Stay tuned. We got our man Basil Chapman's up next. We got Fast Market with Kevin Hinks. They're going to be talking FedEx. They're going to be talking Adobe at 11. We got Larry Pesavento live at noon. Steve Rhodes, Dave White, Tom O'Brien this afternoon. Live programming all day at TFNN. Thanks for starting your day with me, folks. Stay tuned for Basil. He's up now.